Good evening and welcome back to the Mancunian Way. My name is Martin. I'm your host. Hope you are well. Yeah, it's Friday night. So you know what? We're off limits. Screw it. We're past the watershed. Martin's going for it tonight. Martin Rant. We've not had a Martin Rant in a while. But I wanted to give both sides of the argument. And a little disclaimer before we roll into this. This is not against American. This is not against the American nation. My name is not Alan.
Lies.
Please, no. So, little disclaimer, this is more of a culture clash, as you will see as we are going along. Big difference between culture and being xenophobic. We are not xenophobic on this channel. Never will be, never encourage it, never want it. Yeah, totally different. I've even been to a game in America, as Ed will tell you. And don't believe Ed, because he looks like he's only 3'2" there. He's about 7'8". Trust me, I've stood next to him and looked up. Anyway, yeah, so we've got me and Pat, and we brought on Ed and Kelsey. But the other side of the argument, Alan is going to join, maybe Daps, maybe LB. I know LB is there. But few of those, and then we'll tell you exactly why we are here. Dash is with us. Good evening, mate. Long time ago, I said the criticisms of sport washing were nothing but hypocritical, and sports in general were becoming Americanized. Yeah, can we just? I know that word's going to come up. Just I cringe when I hear it because it's going to cause trouble. I know it already has. I know you don't mean it in that way, Dash. Just, you know what I mean. There was a few people kicked off in Pat's channel in the comments when that word got used. It's like I don't know.
That went off.
Yeah, it got funny. Really silly. Marshy Boy, big up for the 4 months membership, mate. You, sir, our legend. Thank you so much for your continued support. Yeah, good evening. This is opinions. This is not against American people or in any way an attack on nations. This is a debate on culture and ideas. All opinions are allowed. Interviews, players who get subject completely ridiculous, just so unnecessary. Well, yeah, I will go into it. Some of you will have heard all this. Let me tell you, some of the Premier League are implementing half-time interviews with players, managers, interviews with players who are getting subbed off. That's the funniest one. That's the one that's going to get everything banned. Very UK theme side. Yeah. By the way, just let you know, I'm not attacking. You see, everyone's like putting disclaimers behind comments at the minute. So, this is what comes out of my mind on a Friday night. It's not even that plays at halftime are likely to be pissed off, exhausted. Yeah. Big up, Ed. Well, he's on the channel. We will talk Juventus Sunday night. So I promise you the post-match Juventus stuff is coming Sunday night. I promise you. And there will be a watch along on Monday night, Tuesday morning. It's already up on the channel, 1:30 a.m. kickoff. One day I'll get sleep in this tournament.
Yeah, me too.
At 6 p.m. for me. I'm like, that's fantastic. I got no issues with that kickoff.
You see what I mean? Look at him, Saka. Pat's loving it. Kelsa's loving it. Ed's loving it. And I'm like, do you know what? I'm not bothered.
Too bad.
Just wait. Because in 2 months,
it's a must-win. 4th of July game is gonna be good.
2 months, my revenge is coming.
Kickoff time because I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning for these 12:30 kickoffs. So I deserve a couple of games to make up for that, right?
Don't worry, I'm going to piss you all off next year. Good evening, Peter Greste, Spartacus. One rule, mate: do not mention Pedra. I'm good, thanks, Dash. Yeah, big up, Lee Gates. MCFC, hello. Look, he loves me. He loves me, MCFC. Says I've got no ball knowledge. Spartacus, Martin, Rant have been went into the point where I might even be in an Allen. Whoa. You never want to get into an Allen era. That's dangerous.
Never go full Allen.
Yeah. Even Allen shouldn't be going full Allen. Hi, Martin. Nice to see you again. Second time tonight. Ed paints the top of things. Martin, you're colonial. Whoa. Those words never came out of my mouth.
If I speak, I'm in trouble.
If you guys want a preview of these little interviews they're going to do, I guess this is technically. Look up Richard Sherman after the NFC title game in, I think it was 2013 or 2014 when Aaron Andrews was interviewing him. Ooh.
Big up, Faye. Hope you're doing all right.
Yeah, we love, I mean, I know, Martin, you're going to talk about it, but with the interviews, like us, like, not us, but American fans kind of like that because you do get like the rawness. You do get like behind the scenes because over here in sports, you don't really get that. Like,
yeah, there's no documentaries or any of that stuff.
It's filtered, it's sugar coated, it's
Right. Well, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Excuse the first 10 minutes. Martin's going off. I'll move that in a minute. Right.
Mute ourselves and let him rant.
Okay. So you did not know the Premier League. I've now come up with ideas that from the 25-26 season, the Premier League broadcasters will feature interviews with substituted players, as well as more on-pitch and dressing room camera access from next season. In order to keep pace with their US counterparts, British broadcasters sought increased access from the Premier League, with 3 new innovations coming in for the 25-26 season, as well as interviewing substituted players in a bid to allow viewers to gain a real-time offering of the players' views and analysis of the game. Broadcasters have also been sent to be granted limited access to the dressing rooms and will be allowed to enter the pitch in order to capture close-up footage of goal celebrations. It gets better. It's believed that any manager team talks will be off limits for the broadcasters, but the players can nip in 3 minutes late for the team talk because they've been interviewed. The process of interviewing a substitute player were trialled by Sky Sports during 24-25 as Bournemouth's Marcus Tavernier spoke to the British broadcaster and he was substituted on 76 minutes during the side's 3-1 victory against Southampton. The Premier League announced in December 2023 the new TV rights deal in the UK with a record 6.7 billion, which will see Sky Sports broadcast 215 top-flight matches per season, commences from 25-26, while TNT get a slither of that, still continuing their 52 exclusive match per season coverage. There will be a gradual increase in broadcasters' access to players and coaches in recent years. In the summer of 2022, a rule was added to Section K of the Premier League's handbook, saying broadcasters may request an interview with the team's manager or senior member of the coaching staff at the end of half-time. The rule came with a caveat. The manager may elect to provide the interview, requested or declined to do so at their discretion, his or her discretion. And up to now, I think the only manager who ever did it at that time was apparently Patrick Vieira, who was at the time head coach of Palace. Yeah, that's why he got sacked. Right, I'm going to tell you now. Absolute fucking woke load of bollocks. What is this? What is this? I've got 2 issues right now. 2 major issues. One, We have been saying for many, many years that the match-going fans, no one gives a flying shit about the damn thing. And again, this is catering for everyone, and this is not a dig at anyone. This is all catering for people at home. What about the fucking 62,000 in the bastard stadium? What do they get access to? And you're going to tell me, oh, the stadium, what do you do?
Well, they're probably going to put interviews on the screen.
I've not finished me rant. Let me finish me rant.
Let him land.
I got told I get access to VAR. I'd hear the referee. I'd know everything. Do you know what? I'm better off sitting on my fucking ass at home watching the game because I'll get to know more than what I will in the bleeding stadium. What we're going to do next? Paint people's bodies on seats to make it look like there's people in there.
Oh, they're going to start accusing us of that. Don't put
this
that
is
out
a
there.
load of bollocks. Match-going fans in the UK, I know it is in other countries, but in the UK and most of Europe, football is about the match-going fan that brings the atmosphere in the stadium. We are killing it.
That's true.
We are doing kickoff times at 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. In a bit, we'll be playing football on the moon at 1 a.m. in the morning, and we've all got to get a shuttle up there. You want to interview a player when they have been substituted during a game, and you've seen some players, by the way, be very emotional when they get substituted. Our very own Pep Guardiola likes to kick a water bottle around and throw it around. You want an interview with him? Good luck. The first time some player goes, what a lot, absolutely not having it, bollocks, shit, that idea gets canned. You are not going to be able to tell a player in their emotion where they're pumped full of adrenaline to watch P's and Q's and not slag off their manager. These players also have sponsorships. Do they not get a say in what? I don't know what we're doing. Oh, and Daps made a very great point on True City Fan earlier on. I dare a player to come in 2 minutes late on a team talk at half time.
Yeah, we're really going to get fined for that.
I'm telling you now, we've just been fined because we're late. We've just had, I watched a clip earlier from the football guy. But he's quite good. I can't remember his name. The Football Insider. And he said the Premier League are popping bottles because they've got a win over City. Popping champagne bottles because they've got a win over City now because of being late out in time. And we're just encouraging it now. Pep sat there. I want to get this substitute on for a warm-up. No, sorry, he's got an interview. Sorry, mate. Bollocks to that. You're 3-0 down in the derby. I want a quick interview. I know when I'm shoving that microphone, it's going right up his arsehole. Sideways. What is this? We'll be doing fireworks and coming out. The intros are going to... We'll be doing intros next, taking 45 minutes.
Dude, fireworks night. Yes.
This is, I just don't get it. And this is not even me about my thing. And Ellie, you're taking the piss because you hate it. I've had to deal with, light shows. I get it. Light shows are great for the kids and they're wonderful. But make it to do with the football club.
You need to Google what a kiss cam is.
Oh, hang on a minute. A DJ in the corner going, it's fuck all to do with Manchester City Football Club.
You need to Google what a kiss cam is.
I've been in America 32 times. I know exactly what a kiss cam is. And you know what? I dealt with it in SeaWorld. I'm there. I love it. Great. It's great. You put your name on camera and you got to wave at them and all that. And you get silly. There's a famous guy at SeaWorld during the Walrus and Sea Lion show, Clive and Seymour. And he's a meme on social media. He does meme comedy and he takes the piss out of everyone walking through to sit in the seats. I get it. The trouble is, you do that in the UK, you get a right-hander through your damn chin. We're a bit different. I try and kiss my missus on the camera, she's slapping me. Telling you now, it ain't working. I don't know what this is. Bollocks, stupid, woke, crap, nonsense. Anyway, my point, carry on.
That Martin Rant was brought to you by Pepsi.
I just think it's bollocks. Pat, anyone fight me on it? Go on.
I mean, the walk-ups they're only cool for like when you walk in the stadium. That only works for the NBA. It's weird to watch at this point. And you can kind of tell that the players are just like, what am I supposed to do? It is kind of weird. It just doesn't fit. Because also we have MLS here in America, and they don't do any of that stuff in MLS. So that is literally just imagined for this tournament. Like I've gone to a bunch of MLS games. They walk in just like they do European style. There's none of the interviews and all that stuff. It's all the same as in England. So they're literally just doing it for this tournament. And I
can spin that, right? Because maybe you have people that's not used to these teams. Maybe you have people at a stadium that really don't pay attention to the sport, right? So it's like a way of introducing the players to that audience, to people who maybe never seen Man City before. Even though, we're a big brand, everybody, we're known around the world. But in America, right, they're still trying to lay that foundation. They're still trying to, get fans to know these players. And it's just a way of marketing too, it's a way of marketing the players.
It could give the players some cool social media posts, and I'm sure they're not gonna argue with some extra revenue.
That's bad. You want players to encourage on social media. Kyle Walker got death threats on his social media last year. No.
I follow a lot of players on Instagram, and like sometimes their pictures from the game yesterday. Like a couple of them had pictures from the game yesterday of them like walking in. Like Nori did. I mean, it was just him like standing there. It wasn't him actually walking, but.
Pat, I don't know. I get annoyed with these auditors, and I know these auditors that are in the UK and America who go around going, I can film whatever I want because my rights are this. First Amendment, Fourth Amendment. Look at me. I can film anything I can see. You know what? They're getting a punch in the gob. I don't know what's going on in the world now.
Uh-oh.
What is going on in the world? We're sticking cameras everywhere. We want to know the ins and outs of everyone now.
Yeah, look, no, I get what you're saying. To do it in public doesn't make any sense. But no, you mentioned before on your little rant there that it was up to the managers or the club's discretion whether they would participate in these things.
That was 2022.
So now is it more of a mandatory sort of thing, or is it still the manager's discretion?
It doesn't say. That's the bit I couldn't find. It doesn't see.
Because if it's down to manager's discretion, then it surely has to be on them. Basically, it has to be on them. And if it is, I would not be surprised if a few managers are firing up a 20-man group chat right now for this season and saying absolutely no cameras in our players' faces, in my face, unless they've got like the Premier League, banner awning, underneath the tunnel, post match, which is obviously their contracts are obliged to do that, but. In terms of having a camera in your face basically 24/7, or every single second you're in the stadium, no, makes no sense to me whatsoever.
I feel like they do that already, though.
Yeah, but you talk about Inside City and stuff. No, mate, it's a very outside of UK sort of thing, and it just doesn't make sense. It's creating a false culture in a way. I think most people from other countries would probably understand that. To watch the Premier League, to watch English football, you have to accept the English culture, the English way of life when you do it. You can't necessarily be invading a certain culture with another one, especially if it doesn't appeal to the people of said country. So I get, I understand that it's pressure from the TV networks, but it should never have been pressure from the TV networks just because some of these multi-billion-pound deals are just getting ridiculously expensive, and they'll continue to. Given the way things are in the world right now. But in terms of, you know what I mean? Like, you could start this next season in 10 seasons' time. I wouldn't be looking forward to what a player says when they get substituted. I'd still be more interested in hearing what Pep or whoever our manager is says after the game, because you're going to learn a lot more from the game than listening to a player who a lot of their thought process would probably just be based purely on emotion. They're not thinking about the overall thing. They're just being substituted. They're probably angry that they're being substituted. So it doesn't make it's just adding on, unnecessarily adding on to things that we're already we're already immersed in so much interactivity, basically, with all these TV networks. Like, just adding this bit more, sometimes it's just a bit suffocating in a way. And I'm saying that for players, for managers, and for the match going fan and the TV audience. Sometimes you can just have too much of a good thing, and that's just how I see it.
I'm just going to do this super chats before we jump in. Faith, thank you very much for your kind £5. You don't need to. You're part of the channel now. Have they learned nothing about players being open about the effects the constant pressure has on their mental health? Absolute media saturation. I think that is a great point, because are we getting? Are we trying to? Are we trying to go too far here? Because, and I give you an example, and people will not like this. WWE. For many, many years, it was kayfabe. Everyone knew it was fake, but it was kayfabe, which in the industry is known as you're playing a character, you keep the role in the character. Even when you are out in public, you keep that role. Now, they've got a brand new series starting on Netflix called Backstage WWE, where they're literally going to tell you what the storylines are, how they write them, who comes up with them, and how a character is developed. Some people have said that is now even gone too far. And me and Ed had this conversation, I think, was it 6 months ago on a space, where we talked about this is like the American media thing that they have in America. What's it called, Ed, where they chase celebrities around?
TMZ.
Yeah, TMZ. And they just, you're on a street, bang, microphone goes into the face, and they're like, what? Yeah, are we trying to delve into how the food is made a bit too much?
Yeah.
But
I know people are concerned about the interview, but when they say interview, it's not like a real interview, because like over here, it's like the coach says 1 or 2 sentences and he's gone. And I think we talk about this all the time. Once you have this amount of money into a sport, unfortunately, it changes, and that's with anything in life. Once you bring in big corporations into small corporations, how many times do we see a small business change once big business comes in and pumps a lot of money into it? And unfortunately, it's the same way with sports. Well, all the money pumped into sports and the amount of money these players are getting made, people are going to want access to these players at all times. And I know that's a new thing over to UK, so I know it's probably going to be rough at first, but unfortunately, the money is just too much money into the sport now.
SOS says that we're going to be having player drafts soon. Are we just going to can the transfer system and we'll go full on drafts? And Ipswich Town going to get first pick at early in Ireland in 5 years.
That's a Rule 5 draft. That's different.
No, but that's. Do you know where this leads to? I'll tell you I'm upset at Alan. I know you're there, and I will bring you in because I know Alan's probably been asleep all night. He won't know about this. This is where it worries me because I know this is where we're going. This is where this is going to.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I love my football club, but I ain't, with all due respect, the name on the front. I know it's global and it's a global brand, and I get it and I love it, and I love global fans and everything else, but for a Premier League game, a league game should be home and away in England. And I know that's going. I know it's going. My season ticket is going to be get on a fucking plane and go over to Australia, go to China, go to America, go wherever I tell you to go to watch. Alan, I don't know if you've heard, but these are the...
If we can keep our 11 a.m. kickoffs, then so be it. Yeah. But anyway.
I've not heard anything, so please repeat.
Right, Alan, basically, next season, and Alan, please do not address this to everyone. This is just UK. Broadcasters are going to follow suit with the US broadcasters, and we are going to have substituted players being interviewed on the pitch when they come off.
Right.
Coaching staff and managers, potential interviews at halftime. Player interviews at halftime.
Yeah.
Access to the dressing room, except for team talks, but they can, Kelsey will be all right. Josh Colgabardio's walking down in his keg. She'll love it. Cameron will be in there.
He's not my favorite player, just so you know.
And they're going to be running on the pitch. They get pitch access to go and join in with a camera while a player is celebrating. I feel this is FIFA come alive. They do this at FIFA. This is FIFA come alive now. I love the way Alan's proper processing his thoughts in this. I love the fact he's really thinking.
I've got Rule Britannia on ready.
He doesn't want to get your channel banned.
No, I know what he's thinking. He's thinking, I don't say this without getting into trouble off Martin.
I'll get a phone call after.
Have you ever seen thoughts take physical form?
Let me rugby league do this, mate. As far as interviewing, have cameras in the corner of the changing rooms with no sound on it, which is true. They do. Yeah, which is true. So, I'm sure you get very excited about rugby league players being half naked.
I should start watching rugby.
Yeah, rugby league, not rugby union, rugby league.
Oh, sorry.
It's basically NFL, but without the pads.
I know.
They literally kill you.
I've watched like 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, and then
don't start with your Australian crap.
Yeah,
I watched the All Blacks. I have an All Black scarf.
That's rugby union. That's rugby union. As far as interviewing subs,
watch the landmines, Alan. Watch the landmines.
I can see them doing that. I haven't got an objection to that. Interviewing managers at halftime, possibly a bit too much, because they're in charge of the team and they've got to concentrate on what they're doing. They won't go the draft system because the whole operation is different over here in England. Australia have it because they have and America has it because they've got a 1 league system, and then they have an amateur league underneath that to pick. So in America they have the college system. In Australia they have the VFL, that's where they get the talent from. Whereas in England the talent comes from the juniors at each club, and then the amateur leagues from underneath that. So I can't see that happening at all. As long as they don't go franchise and like it is America and Australia, and start inventing clubs and moving clubs around the country, I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. Going abroad to play games, I hope it doesn't happen because I want to see Manchester City against Manchester United in Manchester where it's supposed to be, because that's what makes you nervous when you've got the derby days. Even when the derby days are happening over here, everyone who's the Man City supporters club are all nervous as hell before the games. It's worse, but it's just as nerve-wracking. I'm glad when it's over. But as long as they don't go the franchise model like it is in America, where it's a closed-off league where you can finish bottom, and actually you get rewarded in Australia for finishing bottom of the table because they get the best of the draft. That to me makes no sense. If that happens, I won't be watching football anymore. I'll be honest with you. But they're trying to make it more interactive. That's what they're trying to do, the TV companies. And we've just got a situation where we've had Optus for the last God knows how long over here. Now that's been taken over by Stan next year. So Stan have got the rights for the football. So he keeps on changing to get more money. And football is a business. It's not football anymore like it was when it was Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. It's now a business. And they're trying to get the people at home, the people in the pubs, more involved in the games. And that's what they're going at. And let's face it, America, unfortunately, are not funding this Club World Cup. It's the Saudis that are doing that. They put all the money behind it. And they go too far as as I'm concerned. They play too much football. We should be in the middle of a break now, not playing this. I don't want to sound racist because I'm not, but it's just too much. It's a Mickey Mouse tournament, as far as I'm concerned. I watch it because City are playing, But if they lose, I'm not going to lose sleep about it like I would do in a normal league game at home. Because it ruins my weekend if we get beat. But in this, I won't give a shit if we get beat.
Okay. Can I just quick super chat? Thank you very much, Ma. Appreciate that. For your £5 generous pounds. What are we going to glean from this? Diddly squat. I just went to see them where it matters on the pitch. The game we love is slowly being hijacked.
I think a lot of it is, like you said, they're trying to get the fan interaction up, and somebody was saying it earlier. I think they're trying to get more social media interactions. Because that's where the money is the social media stuff. I think they're trying to generate more clips and stuff like that. And I don't agree with it, but I just think that's their MO.
This is my issue. Do you not think fans think they now own the football club? Not own it because they kind of do, but they're not. They're doing their own heads, but they're not. I understand that.
I pay for subscription. I'm not getting my money's worth.
Yeah, but you know, no, but and listen, we've had these debate shows now for 14, 15 months. And let's be honest, we just had this debate an hour ago as well for Patrick, and this is what does scare me is we now do all think we can pick the team better than a Pep Guardiola or a Jurgen Klopp or a Ferguson or whoever it was. And that's not to get, no, it's not to get anyone else, but that is where we are. We sit there going, why is he not doing this? I could do better, and none of us can. Is it because, are we trying to like, in a bit, we're at a point where I remember something years ago at Luton Town. This was, I'm going to say about 15, 20 years ago. So it was kind of new, but it's still a long time. And they did the X Factor thing on American Idol where you vote in who stays and who goes. They voted their manager on that. It was out of joking here. It was the other two, somebody else. And they did a documentary on it and it came out. And do you know what? The secretary of the club goes up to the chairman and goes, what happens if you get the manager you don't want? And he went, we'll deal with that when we get to it. We can always move votes around because the board gets a vote as well. And this is what I don't get is fans think that they're getting a say. And they're really not. Because we don't own the clubs actually on paper. Yes, we do in emotion and everything else. But at the end of the day, if Sheikh Mansour or Khaldun Al-Babarik wants to sack Pep Guardiola, it doesn't give a Tim Tit whether me, Alan, Pat, Ed, Kelster, House Captain Steve Black or anyone else on the whole planet they're not listening to them. They're doing it because they want to do it.
Because Martin,
they will hire who they want.
Because Martin, if they did, then the Bundesliga would be the most watched league in the world.
Yeah.
With the fan ownership.
I think we're trying to delve too much in how the cake's made here. I don't know, and it's great for people at home, but at no one point in any of these ideas is anybody in the stadium.
Well, the thing is, in my situation, I used to go to watch City main road in the Etihad before I emigrated. Right, I would give anything to be at the Etihad every fortnight watching City, or going to the away games every week as well, like I used to do. I would rather be there than sat, as you say, with my remote control, or going down to the Imperial.
Well, where is it, Pat? That was pure for
I had it before, and now it's just vanished.
Good. And you know, and I would give anything to be there every week. I get, FaceTime calls on WhatsApp calls and stuff live from the ground, talking to my mates there at the ground. And when they put the phone down, I'm jealous as hell, and I am, because I'd rather be there. All right, because there it is. I would rather be there than be sat at home or sat in the pub, mainly in the pub, watching the games and getting involved in the atmosphere. And I wouldn't give a flying shit if the cameras were everywhere, because the cameras are in at Rugby League. They're in at 2020 cricket, at Test match cricket. They're everywhere. Because I would like Martin at the games. I would rather be there at the game, shouting and screaming and swearing and carrying on. Okay, like I used to do. But I'm not. because I physically can't get there now, especially with my parents living over here as well now. It's been, and they're elderly. You know, I have to. I've got responsibilities in that respect. But on the same point, having the cameras and everything, I'm not going to complain about it, as long as it doesn't go too far and make it into a Super League. Because that's the moment they do that, as much as I'm convinced that's the way it's going to go. Completely convinced eventually this is going to happen. I'm not going to be too happy about it, but I'm convinced it will happen.
I'm just saying, like, look at like the new generation of kids and everything. What is the new trend right now? It's streaming, right? Streaming is direct access to a person's life 24/7. And unfortunately, that's what these corporations are factoring in. And we all knew once COVID happened and they saw those numbers, that things were going to change, unfortunately.
Well, everything's changed now with COVID. You people don't go to the office anymore, and you go to the CPD in Melbourne. It's like a ghost town on a Monday and Fridays, a complete ghost town.
Alan, you mentioned before about with rugby league, and they do the interviews too. I suppose, yeah, that's relatable, but also depends on how you look at it too. Because with rugby league, most of the matches are played on free to air anyway. So for a lot of us, those sort of interactions are sort of, well, hey, they can do all they want because every minute of this is free for me anyway. So if you focus it more towards, to sports that involve streaming, or only way you can watch it with streaming, that's when I think we need to start focusing more on how much interaction do we have, how much do we need, or how much do we want. Rugby league, any sport, if the sport was free, or as free as it used to be 20, 30 years ago, then, if they implemented these things, I think we wouldn't look at it. We probably wouldn't look at it as cynically as we are now, basically. But now that we are forking out so much money and there's so much money involved, that to some people, the traditionalist side of people, it's just it becomes a sport that's unrecognizable, and and I think people need to understand that just because a certain country plays the sport a certain way, they have to adopt that culture. I think that's why we fell in love with the club that we fell in love with. It wasn't just because of the club itself, but it was because the culture that was instilled in it, whether it be from that city or that particular country. So I don't understand why all of a sudden every single country has to have a say in what happens in something that they in a pastime or a hobby that they love to do.
Everything's changed when it's gone digital and streaming sites where you can watch a sport from the other side of the world live. Right, I remember this is a true story and no word of a lie. When I got offered a job at this recruitment company over here in Australia, Melbourne, I had a conversation. I didn't accept it there and then. I rang up Foxtel, as it was there, which basically Sky TV, the same, owned by Rupert Murdoch. Right. I rang them up and said, "Do you get the Premier League live, every game, every club live as it happens, and the FA Cup and the League Cup and the Champions League, etc., etc." Right at that time in 2007, and I said, "You get everything live as it happens." If they'd have said no, and I was missing some things, I would have turned that job down. That is the truth.
Because I remember when I first started watching here in Australia, Alan, it was they had the midday kickoff, maybe 2, 3 o'clock games, and then the 5:30, and that was about it really. And then sometimes if it was a big marquee matchup on the Sunday or the Monday, then they would show it. But that was it. They don't have the access that all the streaming networks have now. So so I get what you're saying, but back then for us it was very much hit and miss. You spent weeks preparing for when your team was going to play.
The thing is, I don't know if it's the same in America because I've not seen too much sport in America. But in Australia, they have the main TV stations: Channel 9, Channel 7, Channel 10, etc. And
they're free to air channels, by the way.
They're free to air channels, and they keep certain sports on them channels. But the one thing I don't like is they have adverts every 5 minutes, and going through these games and adverts, and I can't stand the adverts. First of all, you watch a film on Channel 9, and it could start at 7 o'clock and it wouldn't finish till 11 o'clock at night because they have that many bloody adverts on. So
which is sad because there's so much pressure from Fox for that reason. That's what happens. Fox just goes there. So
when you go to Foxtel or the streaming channels like Netflix and whatever it may be, you can watch it without adverts, and I love that. And I'd rather have that than. And a lot of the Aussies over here don't want to spend pay-per-view or pay a subscription to watch sport or anything and pay for it. They want to see it free. And they complain there's a big fight between the pair. Where in England it was embraced with Sky TV and BT Mobile, whatever it is now, TNT and whatever it's called. They have, and people embrace it. In the UK, especially with the harsh winters, they'll sit and watch TV. It's part of the culture non-stop. Whereas in Australia, because it's an outdoor life, they don't sit at home watching TV all the time. Like my parents moved over here 10 years ago. They'll have the same culture they did in England, and they'll sit and watch TV all the time. When Aussies whinge, they have to pay for something, and they'll whinge and moan. So they don't like it. So it's a cultural thing. Well, at the end of the day, I watch a lot of TV because I'm English. That's what we brought.
Because you're a lazy bastard. That's why you watch a lot of TV.
I'll sit there myself with my belly and my hand on the bell remote control here. Yeah, and I'll just watch it. Complete lazy
sausage roll crumbs on your belly. And
exactly.
Spare pack of batteries as well too for your remote.
I had a question. Because I know it happens in other sports. Has anyone actually ever gone off on any of these halftime interviews? Like, when they've gone like, whoa, that shouldn't even be on air.
I've seen it in post game, but not halftime. If you want to see a great one, 2010, Tim Lincecum when San Francisco Giants won the league. He dropped the F-bomb twice on live TV.
Why am I flying off the hotel? I am not zip-lining off. No hotel with the ball in my hand. It's not happening. Big up LB for the raid. Big up LB Raiders. How are you doing?
But Steve Martin
not being here in the first place. You know what I mean? Just wrong.
It's to get more. The bottom line is to get more people to pay to watch sport. That's what.
So what you're telling me is the person sat at home on the couch is more important than the people going in the turnstiles.
Well, they'll pay more.
Probably, yeah.
Hang on, how much do you pay for your services per month? Let's work this out. Because I'll tell you what, you don't pay more. Come on.
It's a lot.
Per person, yes, overall it is. Alan pays about $100. Do you? Less? $50?
Well, that's going to change now because Stan's now going to be the Premier League, which we already paid for Champions League.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's
maybe if it was less, if it was or wasn't less,
I pay
£100
a month just for 2 season tickets, you cheeky bastard. And you're telling me you pay more?
Yeah, we have.
You're taking the piss.
Optus, it's about $8 a month for Optus Sport.
Oh, getting rid of him. He's doing me head in already with them numbers. What's he doing here?
We have to to watch but
he hasn't even mentioned the other 4 streaming networks we bloody need.
If we're gonna watch like Man City,
food, Wembley 3,000 times a year, I'm just
You're talking about yourselves. I'm going to calculate how much it is for streaming every single City match here.
Yeah, in America, you have to have a cable subscription, which I don't have. I'm currently using someone's login. Come arrest me. For Champions League, you have to have Paramount Plus. And then Champions League also now has Paramount Cup.
Yeah.
You have to have ESPN Plus for FA Cup. I feel like I'm missing something else.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do think.
You need that Peacock also, because some games are specifically on Peacock.
I mean, Harry's got me there. I pay 20 quid.
Peacock is like $10 a month.
He's kind of got me there.
Apps are like $10 a month, and then cable is usually like about 80 to 100. I don't know. I don't pay for cable.
I paid 20 quid last night just for the bloody DAZN, so I didn't have to watch a game with adverts. I don't want to watch a game where it stops. I am doing a watch along, and I'm like, oh yeah, ball's going over there. Oops, advert. See you all in 3 minutes. I can't put an advert on the screen for him. I'm watching the game.
But see, Martin, I think it's.
I'm expecting the World Cup. There's no having to go races and crap bullshit like that. Well, I'm expecting the World Cup, the games to stop about 15 times during a game for adverts in America.
But they don't do that in MLS games. They don't do that. It's just like an English game where they'll be like an advert that like the people at the game don't see, where there's like a pop-up next to the goal or whatever, and then if somebody runs into the space, you're like, oh, that's just a hologram or whatever. But they don't do that for MLS games here.
Do you know what makes me laugh though? I don't, and again, I'm going to use WWE reference because I'm sorry. I know I'm sad. I'm a wrestling fan. My bad. Have been for many years. But here's my thing. They went to Netflix, and you should have seen the complaint ratio and what they've had for that. Because Netflix were clever. I pay $16.99 a month for Netflix. Oh no, I used to pay $9.99. For me to go up to get WWE with no adverts, yeah. So a pay-per-view or not even a pay-per-view anymore. They're called premium live events now. We've got to now put a posh name into this. You know, I now have to pay $16.99. It's going up to $19.99.
Yeah, Netflix
I'm paying for all this as well because I can't get to every away game. I am still paying for what everyone you're all paying outside of it. I'm also paying to go as well. I'm literally hitting both markets. So no, Alan, you don't pay more than me.
I just think it has to do with the rating.
I've just done the math. I've just done the mathematics. Okay, so
for
a year subscription, for a year subscription for Optus Sport, which is a Premier League and the FA Cup, $120 per year. Stan, who does all the Champions League, Europa League, and Europa Conference League, is $324 Australian per year. BN Sports, just for the Carabao Cup only, is $150. That is an absolute rip-off. So it's $594, so about £300 per year we pay on subscriptions. Now, with Stan taking the Premier League away, that might actually bring the cost down a little bit, but still roughly at the moment we're looking around about £300.
You're talking about half. When you say dollars, it's about half.
That's why I said £300. So $594 Australian, which is about £300.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a whole season. That's if you want access to every single match that City play.
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah, you know what, Andrew, I'm doing that. You know where it gets a bit on YouTube where it says, how would you like your monetization? I'm putting it on the highest one so you get an ad every 30 seconds. Because what you're telling me is you're all accepted it and used to it and you're all willing to do it. So I'm sticking ads on every 30 seconds into these shows. And I bet any money the numbers drop. And it's free to do this. This is what makes me laugh, is everyone's willing to pay to get adverts. YouTube, nah. More adverts go on, we're unsubscribing. It's free.
Some people do it though, Martin. Some people do.
I pay for YouTube ad free because I don't pay for cable because I don't watch cable TV. Well, there you go. No, I'm on YouTube all the time, so I'm like, I'm paying for no ads.
It's a bit like a brainwash, isn't it, this? It's a bit like a brainwash because they know you want to watch it. And by the way, I know, Jill, you've said that. I am not going to encourage for people to break the law. It's a big thing here at the minute. I am not going to encourage. I'm not having a knock on the door. Here's the thing.
Yeah, don't they arrest you for that? That's wild.
People won't know this. You know YouTube Premium? Do you know channels? So if you've got a YouTube Premium and every channel you subscribe to, you know they get a cut of your YouTube Premium.
I would hope so.
Yeah, because that's how they get around the ad rev. It's very complicated. Because the thing is, on YouTube, it's very weird. Over 1,000 subscribers kind of stop counting them.
But why do they have like people like the presenters, right? Like why do they have like people like Rory Jennings who give their opinions, right? Because they know they're going to say something crazy and it's going to drive the ratings up. And I think that's why they kind of are looking for those moments with these interviews, right? Because
they're looking for something clippable.
Clip it up, send it out there, and more people
throw it on TikTok.
Yeah.
All the kids are on TikTok.
Cade. I love you, mate. Pat?
Martin loves the Mexican wave.
We don't call it that. We just call it the wave.
Martin loves the American.
No, hang on. Because someone told me I was lying earlier in Pat's show in the comments. Pat, what was we singing when the Mexican wave went round the Camping World Stadium? You were there. You were sat next to me.
I don't know. I mean, Martin just kept pointing in random directions trying to distract me. So I don't know what he was doing when I had my back.
He's a lying bastard.
Yeah.
We were singing "What the fucking hell is that?" and we were.
Yeah. This show will be changed to the Mancunian Wave.
Yeah.
Oh.
And do you remember when that woman?
The thing is,
no, I was. If anything, I was actually more raucous than you about it.
He was going more than I was with it.
The thing is.
No. Sorry, Alan, interrupt. I was going to say I stood up, and then Martin goes, "Don't do what I think you're going to do," and then it came around to me, and I just went, "Fuck off!"
Yeah. So instead of doing the Mexican wave, he went, "Fuck off," and everyone round him went. Because when I flew out to see you next Tuesday, and I had like 2 security guards staring at me, and Pat's like head down, because we had a Brazilian guy stood next to us who, for some weird reason, wanted to sit on our laps. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But he was like, "What are you doing? Why are you sat on our laps?" And then we were sitting in the
correct seat, and he wanted to perch. We were sitting in the correct seats, and this guy wanted to perch on Martin's shoulder like he was a parrot. Like, what are you doing?
Literally going to sit on my lap. I'm like, there's plenty of empty seats up there, mate. Look up.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. And listen, I have no problem with making money. I understand we're in a capitalist world. We have to make money. My issue is, are we trying to change things that don't need changing?
Yeah.
Are we trying to? It's like, I have no problem with the occasional light show. There was 2 light shows last year, a people of reference, where they were reference to Manchester City's history and the game. I get that. Daps had a great idea. I don't mind a violinist playing along to a chant. But when they
Sterling.
when there's a DJ just going do, and it's no reference to the club, no reference to the game, no reference to anything, I'm like, why is she there? And she's not even playing the CDs. You can tell she's not even doing it. I don't get it. I just don't. And this is why they're moaning about atmospheres dying in games. They're moaning about attendances dropping.
See, at the moment, the world's an expensive place to live because the prices have gone up. Wages haven't gone up.
Yeah.
It's the same here. It's the same in England. It's the same in America. Same everywhere.
Probably same in Australia, I would imagine.
Oh, big time. And people, fortunately, the prices of tickets to go and watch sport here live is not as expensive as it is in England and America. It's still reasonably cheap. So they still have people going to the games here, especially AFL. Because Melbourne has majority of the AFL teams, and there's a lot of them. It's a difficult one because we're all feeling the pinch of a bad economy wherever you are, and they're trying to drive more activity towards the satellite TVs, which they are, and they'll try it. If it doesn't work, they'll take it off. We know they will, but they're going to continue to do it, try and get more money. It's like Optus have had the Premier League for years and years and years, and now it's been because they're blind bids for it, and Stan have beaten them, and Stan are owned by Channel 9 and Fairfax Media, which is the main media group here. Okay, and you know, whether it's going to say $10 a month for sport on Stan is questionable now. We'll have to wait and see what happens when they come out and say.
Alan, I think they'll jack up the price.
I think they will as well.
Do you have TV licenses in Australia and the US?
No.
One thing
That's the one thing about the UK. I'm just like, what?
In the UK, we have to
why
pay
do they do that?
£100 a year for the TV license.
Yes, to the BBC. It's the BBC.
Hang on, Alan, but do not go down that road. Do not open that door. No, Alan.
We know what you're saying without saying it. So just
But we get what you mean.
Let them mull around our nuggets. We know.
Please do not open the BBC door. Please, I'm begging you.
Okay.
I'm begging you. We want the channel to still be here tomorrow. Anyway, right. People, honestly, we don't know what we mean. Just look up BBC and online. You'll get. And no. British broadcasting. Don't. I'm encouraging something else.
We have the same problem with ABC, mate. Trust me.
To be honest, Alan, when you think about it, even the ABC here has started limiting the amount
we
of
have to
stuff
pay
on
that.
BBC on
Because someone asked me, was the dodgy boxes a thing? Yes, because the government are losing their money. So over here, the government, and they will literally, they have put people in prison for not paying a TV license and bailiffs at the door.
Do you have to pay for a TV license even if you don't have a TV?
No, you're not meant to do.
So it's not based on household, it's based on if you have a TV.
No, it's to change the law. If you have access to live TV, you have to do.
Yeah.
So it's not even if you watch it anymore, it's do you have access to live television.
So if you can prove that I don't have a TV in my house,
basically got to rip your aerial down. You've got to rip your aerial out and show it to them when they knock on the door.
Jeez. Well, we don't need to show it. I'll look up, you idiot.
Yeah, it's really savage over here. But it is the biggest law that people are going crazy about in the UK and they want rid of because they think it's just a money making scheme. But see, I get it. See, I get it. Maybe I'm panicking too much, but for me, I can't wait for a player to have a microphone shoved in his face. Because, by the way, in all fairness, you've seen some of these really emotional Brazilian players that get subbed and they come off and you go, what do you think? I can't wait till they say something. Because, and here's my other thing, and I don't fully believe it either, because we got promised that we'd hear all this VAR work. We'd hear from the referees. We'd hear all this. We still haven't. The Premier League are never going to give you access properly. This is what I don't get. I think you're buying into something you're not going to get. Do you think you're going to get the juicy bits? Then why would you pay for extra for it then? Why would you pay for a player to go, yeah, it's not a bad game, we'll pull it back in the second half? There's no insight into that.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it from our Alan and I's perspective as well too. It's like when we're at the pub or when we're at home, what happens as soon as that final whistle goes at halftime? We're either going to the bar, going to the loo, going outside. You know, we're not worried about what the bloody interview is with some player.
Yeah,
halftime's used to go off and do the things that you know you would be distracted by if you went and did them during the match.
Yeah. Same
with you, Martin, as well too. It's like you're going off to go and grab yourself a pie and a bottle of water or something. You know what I mean? So yeah. See, hashtag it's your channel.
15 minutes can save you 15%.
I'm sure it's hashtag it's your channel.
Yeah,
so like I said, like there's gonna be a lot of fans that are just not gonna care about what Rodri says walking off the pitch.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget, Rodri dropped an F-bomb in an interview once.
Well,
got rollets for it by his sponsors.
So did Micah Richards when he was playing against Aston Villa.
Yeah, and Gary Lineker had to go, I'm really, really sorry about that.
Yeah. But it's like, when I'm in the pub, which I prefer to be in the pub over here, because at least you get
That's why I avoided it.
And then, I'll go to the bar, I'll go to the toilet and have a crap. Do you know what I mean? I think whatever.
Sorry, what isn't true top of the league?
Yeah, I'm not interested. But if it was sat at home,
I've got a family member who works for it, mate. I know what the rule is.
If it was sat at home, and in my armchair, which I don't, probably 95% of the time I'm in the pub. At the end of the day, I may listen to what they've got to say, but I'm not that bothered. But they do it for other sports, mate, and they do. Rugby league, rugby.
But I just feel as though you're going to get ripped off. I feel like you're going to chuck more money into something you're not really going to get. You're going to get promised the world and get very little.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, did we all? Because this is my thing. Of it is, they're never ever going to give you what you want. They're never going to put the ref microphone on and going while he's listening, having a conversation with you. They're not doing it.
I'm dying to hear the VAR conversation.
Yeah, don't give him that goal just in case. Top of the league, yeah. Oops, yeah, drop that one. Yeah, offside. if you think there is no corruption in this, like, you know, in the game,
No, there's plenty.
Yeah, let's.
I'd be interested to hear that in La Liga, the corruption league capital.
I just think we've got to be a little bit on the careful side of it.
I think there could be something to be said about American owners kind of slowly influencing and bringing American influence just based on their ownership. They don't care about the culture. They care about the money. So they're just looking at the money because that's an investment to them.
That was my whole argument. We've now got majority of Premier League clubs owned by American billionaires. Okay.
Yeah, like FSG is just it's a piece of his portfolio. He's an investment banker.
We had the idea of the Super League. Was the basic reason for that was that they wanted guaranteed income every year. They couldn't understand the concept of Champions.
That's what PSR is too, to kind of block new money.
They couldn't grasp the idea of not receiving Champions League money, and if they finish that below where they think they should be, they're going to get less income. So the Super League idea was to address that, and that's why the American owners want that, like you say, for money and no other reason. No other reason.
Yeah, because like I said, it means something different to them. It doesn't. There's no cultural background for them. It's all just an investment.
Exactly. So that's my biggest fear is because the American ownerships want to change the European game, the English game, and they do.
Come on, then. Are you going to dive off the Etihad roof, Elliot? I bet you love this. I bet you think it's the best thing going, don't you, Elliot? Elliot.
Me off, Elliot.
They don't do that for like massive games here, like first game of the season or like a playoff game. That's not like an everyday thing. I remember I was at a game once where they did that. The Giants were getting their World Series rings, and they had a skydiver dive in.
See, the thing is, I have no problem with making games. My major issue is I don't like people being ripped off, and that's my biggest issue with this: the rip-off factor. I think people are.
And they're still charging thousands of dollars for the final of the World Cup.
Yeah, I have a friend who he works for like I don't want to call them the hooligans, but like the USA supporters group, and he said to get a USA ticket, one ticket, they're doing lower, like in the big stadiums. It's going to be a lower tier. It's going to be $4,500, but you get apparently unlimited food and drink.
Whoa! You'll have
to drink a lot. You'll have to drink a lot.
Jesus. Well, the people who are buying those tickets, that's not a lot of money to them. This friend of mine is a startup rich person, and he could do that with no sweat. Like,
by the way, if we can smash the like button, that'd be really appreciated. Over 200 of you on. Please hit that like. We're not even at 100 likes. Come on, what are we doing? Elliot, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, go on. Tell me what.
Sorry, mate. I just starting your I was just starting your GoFundMe page for your speedos for diving off at top at North Stand. Yeah.
And whenever we get some
Is that what's agreed, Martin? Is that what you're agreeing on? Yeah.
What's the second time Kelsey's had a pop at me now?
Did it, Martin? If you do the new walk and do a jump off the.
Me and Jackie are gonna jump off together.
Oh mate, I want to
jump straight in a taxi.
You got to do it in the speedos.
Just they'll drive the taxi up to the top. She just jumps straight out.
Wait. She say when I finish my gym workout in a year and everything else.
Well, this is why we're starting it, Martin. This is why me and
I don't fraternize with married men.
Don't mean you. Whoa, where's that gone? Jesus Christ, that went south quick. Jesus. What the hell was that about? It was no proposition.
Elliot.
Alan.
This segment was brought to you by Ashley Madison.
Jesus Christ.
Yo, Mark's gonna have to have something in the corner for that one, man.
Yeah, the disclaimer out there. I tell you. Right, come on, Elliot. Tell me how it's a great idea.
Talking about speedos. I was like, whoa.
Come on, Elliot. You love it, don't you?
No.
Nice.
We don't do speedos in America.
Elliot.
Yeah. It's not a good
Come
idea,
on,
is
tell me
it?
how you love it.
It's not a good idea, is it? It's definitely not a good idea,
that
man.
first substitute who's hyper to come off.
Can you
Are they
imagine?
gonna? I don't think they're gonna do that, man.
Can you imagine interviewing someone that's been sent off like Deli Tiato when he did it at Main Road? Can you imagine what he was saying?
How come?
That is
How
immortal
come they're asking the
television right
substitutes, man?
Hey,
How come they're asking the? How come they're asking the question to the substitutes?
Why do you think?
Well, I don't get why are they interviewing the substitutes though?
Because they want the juicy kickoff coming off at half time.
I just don't get why they're interviewing substitutes, man.
I can't wait till someone comes into the dressing room at half time, like 3 minutes late, because they've done an interview.
yeah, we get fined $1
Oh,
million.
we're the only club who'll get fined for that, though.
Yeah, we'll get
We're the
fined
only
for
one.
that. This is
We'll
the
get
ironic
fined.
thing. We've just been fined as a football club for
Again.
being late on a number
Need
of
to pull a
occasions.
Marshawn Lynch.
Everyone else does it. And now they've
I need
chucked
someone
this
to
out
do a
in the
Marshawn
same
Lynch.
week. It's like you're
I'm
taking the
just here
piss.
so I don't get fined. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
You know, but it was the thing of celebrating. When someone celebrates, they're going to run up on the pitch with a camera in the hand. Like that is something out of FIFA.
already kinda do
That is FIFA.
They have been doing that though.
We
haven't
already
they?
do that.
They have been doing that recent.
I've never seen people on the pitch.
Yeah. Mamouche.
No, I've seen the players go to the
Yeah.
edge of the pitch.
Go rewatch that Marmouche goal that he scored, the Bournemouth one.
Yeah.
When he's in the corner, there's a camera right there in his face.
No,
Yeah.
they can do that. But what they're saying is now, say they're running at the side of the pitch, they can go on the pitch with them now and run next to them with the camera. They're now getting pitch
because the goal is a stoppage of game, so you're not.
That'll be all right until they fucking.
Yeah,
that'll be all right until they
they're
fucking
not
deck
standing
it,
at the
man.
line
Kind of like
post
what they
there.
do at the end of games where they're
Yeah,
got the camera.
they're
It's like,
basically allowed to
it's
run
like
on.
what is it when they have free kicks when they're setting up for the free kick? You got the drone literally on top of their bloody scalps.
Yeah,
Oh, the
so
one,
instead of the
one
drone,
that moves like this.
yeah,
Yeah.
instead
When
of
there's
the
a
drone,
stoppage of game, they're allowed
Yeah.
to impede in the actual field of play.
Well, we have those cameras with the on the zip lines or whatever that are always going back and forth. We have that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
camera.
we've got them. I don't mind them so much. That's my thing. We've already got all
It's an
this.
interesting angle, actually. Watch it on TV. It's quite you get quite a good deal with that. But I mean, we even have it with the cricket.
Here it is.
Technicals
I'll show
love
you
that.
now.
The camera on the zip lines and that. Yeah.
I'll show you. I don't know how.
They'll get that. They'll get them.
No, they already have it. They already have it in football. They already have it. Yeah.
Right, here it is. So I don't know if you can read it. It says the rule. Oh, that's not rule. Where is it? Yeah. As well as interviewing substitute players in a bid to allow viewers to gain a real-time offering of players' views and analysis of the game, broadcasters are also set to be granted limited access to dressing rooms and will be allowed to enter the pitch in order to capture close-up footage of goal celebrations. So they can literally go on the pitch. I go on the pitch. I get
That's
a 10-year ban.
How are you
I feel
gonna?
like they're already in the
are they gonna
corners. I
catch them?
don't know.
You get 20 if you walk over those speedos.
Not wearing Speedos, you weird obsession people.
Put Steve Black's comment up.
I have
God.
Hugo Boss pink swimming shorts. Thank you very much.
Pink.
Is that what they call speedos?
No,
Speedos.
Speedos like old granddad pants that Alan wears.
Jesus Christ.
Do you know the wide fronts that you have over in the the white wide fronts? That's what Alan wears.
My dad still wears them.
Friends. Jeez.
HC, the
That's
knockoff.
the
HC, at the end, not the front. Not good, that. Oh, dear. No, you can't put that, Steve. I've just got that. Steve, no. That's what I mean to Alan's BBC. comment. I've just got that when I read it in my mind.
Are we sure?
Can't-
He's
don't do
18,
that,
right?
Dash, thank you for the £2 new show, the Echeverry Way, sponsored by Jacka.
You know, you'd have a
Please
lot
tell me
more
he's
viewers,
18.
Martin. You'd have a lot more viewers, Martin, if that weren't
We'll
name your
never
show,
get
mate.
rid of Elliot.
Okay, no.
Right, so, short answer, is anyone, because we can move on and we'll talk a little bit about Juventus if you want. who's in favour of this? Pat, are you indifferent, in favour? Hate the idea?
Indifferent for now, but until it happens, I think until it happens, I'll have stronger views. But at the moment, if it was to happen tomorrow, I'd probably lean towards no.
They're not allowed. Humongous, they're not allowed to go in for tactical talk. That is the rule on it, though. They're not allowed to go in for any tactical talk. But I don't know how you get, because that's my thing. I think as soon as the camera goes, I'm presuming they'll go, "Are you talking tactics?" The manager for 15 minutes, you're just going to go, Martin, and keep them out.
They'll do what they do at Rugby League when there's no sound, just pictures of the change rooms. That's what they'll do.
Alan, between me and you and Elliot, you know this. If there was a camera in our dressing room this year, there'd have been lots of problems.
Oh, no.
Oh, no documentary this season? Darn.
I don't think you're getting a documentary this season. No, I really don't think you will.
To be a fly on that wall, that would have been.
Oh my
I think
God.
we'll have to wait till Pep brings out another book before we know what happened.
Some of the arguments that apparently allegedly went on in that dressing room, I don't think they're sticking the cameras in there this year.
Yeah.
Hey, lads, whoops, bye.
Yeah.
Well, they
In
didn't
terms
talk
of documentaries, Kel, in terms of documentaries, I might as well go back and try to do a documentary about Alan Ball's time at Manchester City.
Well, they did the Amazon
The
documentary
show's called
for
Look at Me
Tottenham
Fucking Medal.
when they sacked a bunch of people. When they had like 3 managers that season, I think it was when they sacked like Jose. It was like really juicy. Well, that's what my Spurs friend said. I didn't watch it.
Juicy Mourinho.
Yeah, it was like when they sacked Jose. Or no. It was when they sacked Conte. Maybe it was when they sacked. I don't remember what year it was.
Top of the league earlier. It's the rule that, because I said if I remember where it's there. I think I've seen it on YouTube as well, where someone got prosecuted for it. So maybe it's certain people. I don't know. Same with gas people, though. Some people force you to have smart meters. Some people don't.
Oh, we have that in America. Well, where I am.
Yeah,
where I used to be.
I think it's who you get as well. Some people ignore the rules. Some are very, to the rules.
Sometimes they just want to make an example of someone.
Yeah, some people just want to be famous or be a dick or whatever. Could have had a bad day, I don't know. Kelsey, yes, no, or indifferent? Where are you at with this?
I'm somewhere in between like no and indifferent. I just don't need it. I'm like, okay. Like if we have it, I'm not going to be upset, but I just don't need it. It doesn't really add anything to the experience for me. I'm just there to watch ball. I don't really care about this other stuff.
Do you watch the game at home, Kelly, or do you go to a pub?
I watch them at home. I live on the west coast of America, so the games are on really early. And I'm also in an area that's just not a big sports area. I've tried to coordinate with people to go watch games, but the latest the games are on at 4:30, 7 or 9:30, and
yeah.
I mean, granted, I live near casinos, so I'm sure I could just go to a casino at 4 a.m, but no, I just watch it home by myself.
That's why I love finding that bar in Orlando, because trust me, and Ed, you know this, finding a pub in like parts of America is quite hard, Alan. They're not like
I know.
There's a lot of.
I wouldn't say they're difficult; they're just very far apart.
Yeah, it's the same here.
Manchester, you can walk 2 city blocks, and you can do a pub crawl. You can do a pub crawl within about 3 city blocks.
It was weird.
When a place like Orlando, you're forking out $45 between pubs.
Yeah, I went
to entertainment centers now, right, Kels?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
If you do a pub crawl, Alan will say the same thing. If I do a pub crawl in George Street in Sydney, you do a pub crawl in Sydney. We could just spend a whole day walking down George Street, and you wouldn't have to leave George Street. There's so many pubs.
That's right.
And it's the same with you too, mate. Like you could walk down Burke Street, and you'd run into about a dozen.
Burke and Collins Street, you're fine. As soon as you go out in the suburbs, it is quite difficult to find pubs.
Yeah. One or 2 stops on a tram. Yeah.
They have houses in the States here in Melbourne. I call it Legoland, right? And there's just no pubs.
Guys, let me tell you what we have over here, right? We have something called a dome now, and Kels will know about this, where you can sit down at a restaurant, and it's like you're like, I don't know how to, like you're on the field, you're on the court right there, and that's how the screens are set up, and that's how.
That was on social media. They had a big one in LA or something, didn't they?
Is there one in
where it's like,
I know there's one in Los Angeles, but I don't know about anywhere else.
Yeah.
There's none where I live.
It looked like a combination of like an IMAX, the Sphere in Vegas, and literally like a sports bar. Like it looked unreal. Don't get me wrong.
I've seen it. I've seen images of the one in Los
I'm like, no,
Angeles.
thanks.
I follow a content creator in LA, and she went to one she's an Arsenal supporter, and she went and I saw her Instagram story, and I was like, that looks really cool. If I lived near it, I would go check it out, but I live in a small area, so
I'm fortunate because I live 10 minutes from the city on the tram or driving. It's easy, so I get to the pub really quickly because I'm on the inner city area. So
also the state, I live in the state of Nevada, and it's just not a big sports state. I mean, it's getting there because now Las Vegas has a few teams, but I'm up north, and there's just not a lot of people here who like sports. So it's really hard finding footy fans. I've met like one person who likes footy. And there is an English pub like 30 minutes from me, but like it's really difficult to do that like on a Saturday. And then I work on the weekends sometimes, so that makes it difficult. So I just watch it.
I love the pub in Orlando.
It comes down to the city you live in as well. Because like I said,
that
Orlando
pub was great, Pat. You know where you made your friend?
Sorry?
I
make a lot of friends. I'm a social butterfly.
No, it's like your best mate. You did make a little bestie. You did. He was a bit drunk, but you made a bestie.
Oh.
Was she nice, Pat? Was she nice?
Wait, what?
No, it was a man. It wasn't a woman. What you do, Alan? Everything's like, mind out the gutter, man. Mind out the gutter.
Yeah, okay. Maybe he needs to start thinking about the other BBC. But anyway,
don't remember he was singing to you at the back of the coach.
What?
Remember the guy who was singing
City Chicks? He wasn't bloody serenade. He wasn't singing bloody Love Me Tender or something, was he?
Loving you.
He wasn't singing Love Me Tender, was he?
Relevant.
Yeah, but I'm indifferent. Back to the chat. I
honestly don't remember.
I'm indifferent to it. I just want to see how it looks in person, but it doesn't. I'm indifferent.
Alan.
Yeah.
Yes. No. Indifferent.
I'm not too fussed as long as it doesn't interfere with the game, to be honest with you.
They're just waiting for somebody to pop off and go viral, and then that's all they want. I guarantee it. Once something gets like 2 or 3 million views on TikTok or 10 million or whatever, then they're like that's
yeah. Because like I said, we've been down this road before, and I remember, like I said, the Sky thing years ago. Where if you pushed it was like trying to be interactive, and if you push the red button, you could choose a player and follow him for the whole game. It lasted 1 season, and they went, scrap that.
They had something weird a couple of years ago. I think it was like 2 or 3 Euros ago, where they had like this. They had like a split screen. I was watching it on ESPN, and then they also had like the cameras following the players around. It was really. I couldn't follow the game, like they would just follow one player. Yeah. I was just what is this? Yeah, they did that at ESPN. I'd never seen it since. It was just in the Euros.
It's like all these. I know people who've got like,
camera. I was like, no.
Is it like multi-screen? And they've got 5 games going on. I'm like, I'm not being funny here. I have not got the mental capacity to be watching 5 or 6 games at once and follow what's going on. Goal there, penalty there, red card there. I'm like, frig, am I going here?
Yep.
That guy Strasbourg, Steve. He that's how he watches all his games. He has like 2 laptops, 2 TVs, 2 phones. I'm like, I can't do that. I can barely pay attention to 1 game.
But the thing is, if you like Steve's a Newcastle fan, why is he not just following the Newcastle game intently?
He has like 10 teams. He's also a Bayern fan. What? He's also a Benfica fan. He's a Lazio fan. He's a Strasbourg fan. He's
every sports fan.
He probably has like 2 MLS teams. I don't even know.
See, I do think it's a cultural thing as well, because I know multi-team following is a big thing outside of the UK. I know it is. Yeah. I know people who've got City's my first team, they're my second. In the UK, it may be a culture thing. It's like the biggest. No, you do.
Because they might have a
1, a 2, and a 3.
Does that only count for English teams, or can you have like a team in Germany that you like, or in Spain that you like?
It happens.
If you do, usually there's some sort of like maybe family tie to it.
Judgment.
There may be some family tie to it, or something you did in your life. Like look at Martin Ian Cheeseman, for example. Because he's got family from Gelsenkirchen, so he follows Schalke quite a lot.
Yeah, I get it. I get having
But what I'm saying is that if English fans have that, it's because they have a strong tie to it, whether it's family or they may have lived there for 10 years of their life or something like that, like, you know, those sort of things. Like,
there was an old thing, and again, I'm showing my age. Go on, Alan. Sorry, goodbye.
I've got to the MCG, which is the biggest stadium in Melbourne, holds 100,000 for the AFL.
Biggest in the Southern Hemisphere, mate. Like, it's one of the biggest in the world.
I know, but Aussie,
bigger than Argentina? Wow.
Aussie Rules game.
MCG can hold up to 110,000.
Hear me out. You go to the games, the AFL games, and let's say Hawthorn are playing Collingwood, right? Two teams are big teams over here, and there's 100,000 there. There's Essendon fans, there's North Melbourne fans, there's fans of other clubs. We're in the tops inside the ground, sat next to each other, right? Who are not clearly supporting either of the teams that are playing, and they go, and there's at least 10, 15,000 of them in every game. You wouldn't be seen dead going to Anfield if you're a City fan or going to Old Trafford. There's no way you wouldn't be seen dead doing that.
Alan, just read me that.
That's so different because over here, same thing here.
No, he's getting owned here. He's getting outed. Nick,
I don't like him. I think he's shit.
You lying little bastard. You read that from Nick. Go on. Listen, you're getting outed now. People are owning you.
You don't even like it. I went. He knows I went.
Nick, come on if you got a few minutes, mate.
I was there in the bar watching the game, and mate, it's a terrible game to watch. Like an aerial ping pong is shite.
Well, you just got well.
An aerial ping pong.
I need to do this.
Mateus Nunes should be driving all the fans to the fucking ground.
You didn't need to, but thank you so much. Gifted 5 channel memberships. Big up, Bebo. Not in my lifetime, lads. Luke, Alex, go and show them a lot of love. Did a great show with them the other day, which is on the channel if you want to go and check that out. Also, if you are new, please consider subscribing. We're on the road to 10K. This is basically my full-time gig now. So any help towards that is massively appreciated.
Press the like button. Keep going.
Keeps my lights on at home. Hit the likes, hit those thumbs up as well. It's a smart
TV license.
It massively helps. Pardon, Elliot.
No, saying if you want Martin to keep his TV license, don't forget to like and subscribe.
I don't like Elliot when he's too quiet.
Elliot, just listen to us.
Come out wherever you are.
Are you for, against, or indifferent on this?
What do you think I am?
And can I get a serious answer? Not you.
That sounds like a no to me. I've just met you, but that sounds like a no.
No, Kelster, Elliot has 2 answers. The Wine Martin up answer and then the real one. And I never know which one he wants to go with.
Nah, I'm not for it, man, to be fair.
I predicted that one.
Just cause I don't think it's fair, to be fair, on like the managers and that, and like you say, if you've got a substitute and you're interviewing a substitute player, what is that going to achieve, to be honest? Because is he not going to be pissed off for the start anyway because he's not playing?
Yeah, agreed.
Great point.
I mean, I think their intention is gonna be like, oh, maybe this guy scored a great goal and he just got subbed off or something after a heroic performance. So we want to see this. But I think a lot of times it's probably gonna be somebody who had a bad game and they're gonna be really hissy and they might get that viral reaction as well.
Yeah, but you imagine interviewing Mahrez after treble season after he scored naturally against Sheffield United in FA Cup semi-finals, and then you're interviewing him game after, and you're like, yeah. So what do you think of like Foden? Then he was playing on right wing. He's going to be like, fucking, don't want him to be there. I want to be there.
Professional at all time, Elliot. Professional at all time.
That was
I don't think they are, man.
Yeah, but they're not, though, are they? They're not.
Nah, they're not. So look at Jack Grealish, man. He's not really a good professional off at pitch, is he? And like you say, on the pitch, but no, he probably is a good professional. I probably used the wrong term there. I mean, he probably just says stuff as it is because that's probably the kind of lad what he is. I think probably Phil's probably the same. They just say it as they see it. Whereas I think some people are sort of media trained and they've probably come up. So like, if you look at like an Echeverri or I'll go back as far as Aguero, they couldn't actually speak decent English for a start. Yeah. So you can have an issue there straight away. Savinho doesn't speak English.
The players might try to hide behind that shield for a while.
Does anyone
too.
remember the KDB moment when he came off and the water bottles all went?
Yeah.
Are you sticking a microphone in KDB's hand at that point? There you go, mate. Tell us what you think. That water bottle's just gone down the touchline. That's not fair on KDB. He's got sponsors, a wife, everything, and you're sticking a microphone in his damn spot. No. They're going
to be selective, guys. Yeah. They're going to be selective. I don't think they're.
Yeah. They treat the players like robots, and in turn, the players are going to give robotic answers.
What is the point of it? That's the point. He's boring. I don't want Pep or Pep Linders to go. Oh well,
so one of these interviewing.
It's been a good game.
One of these interviewing. When are these actually about getting interviewed? These sub shoots. Is this before the game or at half time or?
Yeah. It just says.
It didn't say. It didn't say.
It kind of said halftime, and then that's something else it said after they got subbed off.
So, how does that work then with like Super Sunday? Like if they're in like the studio, surely they're discussing the game, no?
No.
They'll have
what they're going to do just. What they're going to do just go. What they're going to do just. Yeah. But I don't get what they're going to do. What
Aaron Andrews. I'm telling you, Aaron Andrews coming to the Premier League.
Have you not heard this? Every game that is not a 3 p.m. kickoff on a Saturday is going to be live on TV.
Well, that's good.
They're basically what this is, and I think there's a bigger thing to this. This is to kill Saturday 3 p.m.s, and this is the biggest stage of the Super League.
Yeah, but they are in the mud at the minute, don't mind. They're in the mud at the minute, don't mind.
So how are they going to go about the 3 p.m.?
The 3 o'clock. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say, Pat. That's what I'm going to say. The 3 o'clock games are in the mud at the minute, don't matter when you look at it, because what you've got is you've got a situation where now in the EFL they have like 2 12 o'clock, like half-12 games, right? When like I don't understand as to why they do that, but then they have obviously, if you look, they have like a 5:30 one UK time, which is obviously the later kickoff that Saturday. If you look at the 3 o'clock kickoff, if you look at like the match of the day that same night, unless it's like a thriller and like it's a mad score, they never actually show that game until the last game. They show the early kickoff on BT Sport, which will obviously be at half-12, and then they show the later game, which is probably at half-5 on Sky, and then the middle game is basically nothing. I remember when we played, I think it was Fulham, and it was actually a decent game. I don't know whether you remember it. I think it's when Rick Hollis got bullied by Traore, and it was actually a decent game.
Fulham.
In like the actual all, Fulham, when he got bullied, and they didn't even show that game until I think it was like one of the last games or something. And I was just like, what's like going on here? Like, is it? And then I watching the other games, and I'm thinking this isn't even nowhere near as good as ours. So I don't know. I think
Championship's getting tons of Friday night games as well.
Yeah. Well, even on about doing Mondays as well, aren't they, man? I think they're about doing it Mondays as well, Monday night games as well. So
they're going to kind of do a few of those, but not too many.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't mind the Friday games because Saturday morning we actually get like good turnout. People like to get up early on Saturdays.
Yeah, I don't know whether you spoke about this.
Yeah, but I could see the local opinion on it would be a lot different.
Yeah. And I don't know whether you spoke on this or not, Martin. But not these fixtures. Yeah. What is the point in releasing these fixtures? Because like it's like the Spurs game. Yeah. The Spurs game's like 3 o'clock. Well, that's surely not going to be at 3 o'clock on a Saturday.
No.
United game 3 o'clock on a Saturday. But why? What's the point in releasing these fixtures, man? Why don't they just fall back and then just figure out when's on Sky, when's not on Sky?
Yeah, Alan probably feels the same. Like the amount of times where it's like we know that in 2 months' time when the fixtures come out or 3 months' time, it's like we know we've got the derby coming up, and for months and months on end, it'll just say 3 p.m., 3 p.m., 3 p.m., 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And we know it's not going to be 3 p.m. And then dead set a month before, now it's 3:15 a.m. on a Monday.
Yeah, I had to keep
straight away.
Tickets.
You know these fixtures are going to be prime time and ASAP. You look, if you go on Wikipedia, they'll already give you the schedule for the Champions League months before the draw's even been done. So don't say Champions League determines how we move the fixtures and things like that. It's like, no, you know what the schedule is. UEFA has these schedules planned months, years in advance. If they didn't, then we wouldn't know what the next 2 host finals are going to be for the Champions League final. They know exactly what they're doing. They do it months in advance. They just want to leave it till the very last minute so that people spend ample amounts of time and money waiting on what they want to do, and it's just not viable. It's not. It may make sense for the international fan, for the TV fan, and that. But again, it all comes back to how it affects the match going fan as well too. It just becomes a hassle for so many different people.
I think it's terrible. I mean, I'm not local, but like, it's hard to plan for a Premier League game. Like, I bought tickets for a Premier League game, and then they moved it, and I had to literally eat the tickets. I couldn't.
That's what I mean.
I had to pay an extra like $600 to go to a Champions League game because I was like, I'm coming all the way to Manchester. I'm going to a fun game.
But you four have all got jobs. I'm guessing you're all gonna have to, unless you are your own boss, and how Alan you are. But I'm presuming you have to give a notice on how long you're going to be away and when you're back, or put workload out to other people. How can you do that? If you go, right, I'm going to plan that. I've got an hotel, the new city one, in it nice, and I've got to put a plane booked. I've got the plane nice and early. I've got the ticket nice and early. Oh, sorry, we're switching it to a Monday night.
Yeah, that's a big nightmare for me, logistically.
And there's not a lot of travel insurance companies that will factor that in as well, too.
We're coming to you, Alan, I promise you. Right, go on, Alan, before you jump out into the screen.
We've got a situation. Nick, Nick that goes on our channel, the young Aussie lad. He's going away to a holiday in Europe in August. And he's planning to go to the, if he gets tickets for the Brighton away game.
I know, I'm paying for the tickets.
Yeah, paying for the tickets. Now, if he goes and flies in the same day as the game or the day before, and then the game gets switched, he's got to try and at least extend.
No, they're not going to change it the day before, Alan. They're not going to do it that late in the day.
Well,
they could change it between now and when he flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
It could be updated. Yeah.
So if he's flying in and then flying back out again, like within 2 days, and they change the game and at a time, he's fucked.
Well, even just for the locals too, because like they might have to arrange like childcare or get off of work. Yeah,
not everyone is
a hassle for everybody.
Yeah, not everyone's 5 minutes down the road like me. Right. There are some people who come from the Lake District. Daps come from like South.
In like London or something.
Martin, what was it not last season, but the season before? I think we played Leipzig in the group stages. I'd just come down from Edinburgh that day, and on the train on the carriage with me was about 10 or 12 match day going City fans who'd made the trek down. So it just shows like people aren't exactly like you said. They're not down the road. They're not all in the greater Manchester area. People have to move things around and change and things like that. And if they're just going to just continually update these fixtures well after people have made these plans, then it's not viable for anybody.
This is what I'm going to say. Well, this is what I'm going to say to you, because Al's just said the point, and you sort of batted him off a bit, Martin, but he does have a point with what he was saying, because if City was to progress in the Champions League, in obviously the new format, if this is, so it says, for example, let's just say we're meant to play Crystal Palace at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. If we get the Champions League and we progress into the next round, there's a chance that game will be now on a Wednesday in the Champions League. And then what will happen is the Premier League will turn around and say, oh, well, you're playing, for argument's sake, Dortmund away on a Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, we'll change your game to a Sunday. So probably what Al's saying is, if Nick books a plane ticket, and he's leaving the Sunday after the game, which is meant to be, if City change that fixture, he won't be able to make that fixture because they'll change it. So you can never plan.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned Palace earlier, because they're on uncharted waters, because now they're in
that in advance.
They're fixtures change. That's something they've never done.
Well, no, because how are you going to know if you're going to progress or not?
You use them as an example, but I'm saying they're going to be
it's only like a week in advance
with that sort of stuff. For them, 3 p.m. Saturday was almost.
Because if we play Dortmund away, if we play Dortmund away on a Tuesday, they'll have the game on the Saturday, so Nick could be able to attend that. But obviously, if it's going to be on a Wednesday away at Dortmund, they're probably going to change that Palace game on the Saturday to the Sunday, or a late game on the Saturday. But if Nick's flying on that Saturday night or the Sunday morning, he'll not be able to make that.
That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Thank you for bringing that up, Alan. Good point.
Nick's just in the comments too. He said, "Yeah, it's very difficult to plan."
It's funny because they're trying to cater to the foreign fans and take all of our foreign money, and then they keep but then they can't set a schedule correctly. So it's like, do you want our money or do you not want our money? Can you be consistent here? Like,
can you give me what that is? Because which year was it? Because the Premier League does end every Sunday. The Premier League always ends for Sunday, always. I'm trying to think. I'm not saying. I'm just trying to think to which game you're on about, because the treble season we finished. West Ham.
We won that before the season ended.
West Ham at home. Was it?
Because I was there, but I'm trying to remember what.
No, West Ham, and then what was the treble one we won on?
What do you mean?
Wait. No, so the treble, the Champions League was on a Saturday night. I went to Amsterdam for the Sunday night, and then the parade was on the Monday. I think.
No, but what was the final Premier League game?
Sunday.
It was the last game of the season, so that would have been
Sunday.
That would have been 2 weeks before the Champions League final, and that was a
With Chelsea.
With
Chelsea, weren't it?
Yeah, the Chelsea game.
Same time Sunday.
Because he started Parma against Chelsea, and Alvarez. I think with Alvarez that scored.
Well, no, what happened was we won the league because Arsenal lost. And so they had like a viewing party at the CFA.
Thank you, Warren.
We lost the game.
Yeah, the Chelsea home game was where they did the ceremony, and that was a heavily rotated squad.
Right. So now I know what he means, because.
What do you mean Brentford away?
That was the last game of that season, and we threw it because we didn't play.
No.
Rodgers was on the bench, Holland was on the bench, everyone was on the bench to prepare for the Champions League.
Because I was flying back from Tenerife, from Santorini, because remember I missed the FA Cup final, and everyone took the piss out of me because I missed it. I was in Santorini on my way back, and the pilot announced all the Premier League fixtures on the Sunday on the way back.
So we won it with 3 games to go. There was Chelsea at home, Brighton away, and then Brentford away.
Chelsea was the game.
Yeah, remember the Brighton game was a draw. It was that Enciso screamer.
Yeah. That's when they lifted the trophy. Because then, if you remember, he played like a shittish team against Brentford.
Yeah. He rotated every
Yeah,
we
rock next season's kids as well.
And I hate doing that anyway. But Nick, you need to let me know what you do. I know it's hard, mate, but like I said, because Nick was the winner when we did the 5K giveaway. He did win it. So we are sorting him out.
He is coming over for the weekend of the Brighton game. He's over.
I know. I'm going to pay him the money. It's getting harder. You know what? Might be a good point. That I will have a chat with Dante. We are trying to get trade union. I'm going to speak with Trade Union Blues as well. I want to delve into this legal standpoint they're jumping on. Right. Anything want to add before? Because we are going to do the post-match on Sunday. So I don't want to delve into Juve too much.
We're talking about Juve yet?
I'm doing that Sunday night. It's already up on the channel for Sunday night.
Juve, okay.
So I don't want to double down.
The
watch along is up as well. We are doing the watch along from 1:30 a.m. I think else are going to come on. Ed's coming on. What?
Have fun with that. Let me have my moment in the sun. Same with Alan as well. No pun intended.
Are you flying out yet, Elliot?
Say again?
Are you going out yet? Or you booked your tickets? I'm waiting for you to go out here,
Going out where?
To the Club World Cup. I'm waiting for you to rock
on. Oh, no. I went to final like a glory fan.
Well, Elliot, at this stage,
Elliot and Big Steve on the way out to the final.
If we make it to the final, the tickets might be slightly more affordable because we were talking off camera before we came on. I remember a few weeks ago I talked about how ridiculous the ticket prices were for the Club World Cup final. $892. They have since dropped to the bargain price of $722. But as the tournament goes on, fingers crossed, we might start seeing a bit more of a drop in price. But I wanted to put in perspective just how amusing these ticket prices are. I was at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey back in 2018. We played a preseason match against Liverpool. From what I remember, I don't think I paid more than about maybe $100 US for my ticket. and I looked at the exact same seating or same seating zone that I was in for that match compared to if I bought a ticket in the same zone now for the Combo Cup final. Do you know how much the ticket cost was? It was $24,000.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
Elliot, you better off staying at home, mate.
Do you know what I think we need? We need if City make the final, we need to make sure we're playing against a South American team. Because
is the final in New York?
South Americans will pay that money.
Yeah, it's in New York.
Is the final in New York? Yeah.
Yeah, New York, New Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah. So what time will that be? What time is actual kickoff time?
Apparently, for the rest after the round of 16, like pretty much every single game is going to be 3 p.m. East Coast.
Right, so that'll be.
That's what I'm saying to Martin. I said,
right.
I just want my moment in the sun for this Al Hilal match because if we progress in this, then every game goes back to like 5 a.m. over here.
What's the difference in temperature at the minute over there within like Orlando and New York? Like, what is the difference?
Ed, you're muted, mate.
It's kind of like the same. I mean, it's going to be more humidity down in the south, but it's kind of going to be around the same temperature-wise. It's because it's summertime.
So what were the point?
The other thing too, Elliot, as well too. I think the other reason, apart from catering to the European audience, why they're having all the games at 3 p.m. is because if you have the games in sort of like July, August, I don't know if Ed can back me up on this one, but this time of year along the East Coast, you do get a lot of thunderstorms in the evening, almost on a daily basis in some parts. So I think it makes sense for them to have the games in the afternoon. Yes, it's going to be hot, but they're not going to be cancelled.
They're
not going to be delayed for hours on end, waiting for electrical storms to pass through. Yeah. So it becomes a combination of it may not be as comfortable for the fans being mid-afternoon, but also too they're not running the risk of being sheltered underneath a stadium while a lightning storm's going off, and then even when the lightning storm goes, they're still going to be sitting in the stands getting absolutely soaked by heavy rains. Like we saw with the Juve game in Orlando. Yes, the thunderstorm stayed away, but it didn't stop the rain clouds from still hitting the stadium, and people got absolutely soaked. That shower looked like it only passed for about 15 minutes. Did it, Ed?
Yeah,
it wasn't that long. People were just absolutely slammed with that weather. So I think this is probably a good trial for them for the 2026 World Cup because you're going to have to be very cautious about when they have these games and what time they're going to be on.
Oh, Ed, you went to the game, didn't you?
Yeah, actually,
let's
talk about the game. We'll discuss a little bit. Yeah.
Was it good? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, 5 goals. Yeah. In the second half, there were like really pretty goals too, like build-up play, passing.
Who stood out? Who stood out for you, Ed?
I mean, of course, that's my first time seeing like a Roger out there. So your eyes are glued to him, right? But really, I would say for me, Nori, man. Nori was just like you saw how he was on the all over the pitch, midfield, holding the whiff, getting in the box, tracking back. I mean, it was a full display, man.
So as you said that, Ed, I thought you were going to say Nunes, to be fair.
Nunes had a good game, but
I've heard. Hey Al, did you see the news earlier from Sam Lee on Nunes?
No, I've been asleep, mate. Go on, tell me.
Apparently, City ran about offering him a new contract.
Oh no!
For Nunes? No.
Yeah. Apparently,
someone else.
I mean, but he is the best backup right back you could ask for. He is. That's like. I mean,
I'm going to say it. Nunes' performances has made a potential right back signing stop.
Oh no,
Nunes.
Don't expect us to win a Champions League.
He is the man.
Then nobody's predicting. Nobody can predict a Champions League next season.
No, for Champions League, they'll probably put a center back over.
Nunes. Cafu.
I wish he had shirt number 22 because he wears a 22. He's better than Cafu.
I don't want you ringing me up in the middle of the night. I don't want you ringing me up in the middle of the night singing that song where if he signs a new contract.
I'll bloody call it. It's a group call.
Cafu Nunes. I just don't think you understand.
Hey man, but if he makes a mistake in the game, it can all change. So we just hope hopefully he
wire.
That's when Alan will start messaging everybody and be like, I told you so.
Yeah. Yeah. You enjoyed. Did you have a big smile on your face when you were playing?
Who? Nunes?
Couple of great assists though, wasn't it? Do you know what's tight though?
I'm different on Nunes.
He didn't get the first assist because it's an own goal. I don't agree with this rule. It's a garbage rule.
By the way, Martin.
Well, that's the case that Ederson would have gotten an assist on Koopa Myers.
Mine.
We don't talk about that. Yes.
Are you there, mine?
Like Conway's not here. Who cares?
Yeah. What do you think to this Pep Linders geezer anyway?
I'm loving this Pep Linders, Pep Guardiola, Colo Toure combo.
Is Colo only here for the tournament? I'm not. I wasn't clear on that.
I think we'll see.
Ooh. Like as of now, though. As of now, he's only.
As of now, I'm presuming, yeah, that's what now. But I've got a feeling the Laboradi, I think he's done enough. I'm gathering.
Okay.
Big up, DC. How are you? We're just about to leave as well, DC. But yeah, no, we will be here from 1:30 a.m. Isn't the quarterfinals 2 a.m. as well if we get through?
No, that would be at 3. No. That'd be 8 p.m.
I seriously think they changed it. I do because I did my research.
You told me it was 2 straight 2 a.m.s. Yeah?
No, it was. No, I swear to you, hand on heart, it was because I absolutely triple checked this. It was meant to be the Saturday, like a 2 p.m. Saturday, and then all of a sudden, when I started looking at it, once the tournament kicked off, it got moved earlier. And I think part of that is down to being in Orlando. I think they're too concerned about with it being later in the evening, more of a risk of thunderstorms. I really do.
No,
that too, and also the European audience. But I really do.
It's 4th of July, so that's like it's a big holiday in the States as well.
That too, yeah.
So having the game earlier for families to go to and stuff before they do all that nice stuff because they do like fireworks. It's our Independence Day as a
barbecues.
It's a good point. That I forgot about the 4th of July.
Mm.
It is, isn't it? That was a great point.
We'll get used to it because you'll be playing Star Spangled Banner on our intros now as of next season.
Or as True City fan posted in the chat, God bless America.
I know what Patrick's doing. Patrick's playing either side that gets the views and the likes. I know what Patrick's doing now.
Patrick is probably sleeping right now.
Yeah, I don't know he is. By the way, breaking news, there's a new show with me and Patrick starting soon, which can't wait to do. We think it's probably going to start next week. It all depends on Patrick, because with the toughness he's going through at the moment. But yes, it's going to be a Back to the Future show, which will be good.
Ooh.
So yeah, loads come up. Final question for you, Elliot. Nick says, Elliot, should we keep all 7 centre backs? Which ones would you sell? This is where we're going to get the Wine Martin up one.
Nah, we shouldn't keep all 7 centre halves. The only way that's actual doable for me with the keeping 7 centre half is if we play 3 at the back, which I don't think we will. If I'm honest, I think we'll probably play like 2 attacking fullbacks and then 2 centre halves, probably Guardiola and Diaz. And if I could sell anyone, it would probably be a Kanja, I would say.
I got roasted for that when I brought it up 4 months ago.
No, because I already knew what was coming out of his mouth. I knew
he should. But it's not against the Kanja. Not against Kanja, but what do you think is the worst out of the defenders? What, so you sell our fully fit best defender? Or
he's not fully fit, is he?
No, but when he's fully fit.
When he's fully fit, what, 5 times a year?
Right, hold on. Let's go through this.
Yeah, but when he's fit, I know you want to wrap up. In midfield with Rodri and Reinders. Oh.
Yeah. And I know you want to wrap up, right? I know you're wanting to wrap up, but let me just solve this out now, right? So Ruben Diaz, yeah? Is he on about getting a new contract, Martin, yeah? Is that what the rumours are?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Jospel Guardiola, guessing you're not selling him, considering he's probably been his best player for the last 2 seasons, or one of.
Yeah.
Right.
He needs a new contract.
Yeah, right. So, Nathan Ake, when fully fit. Thoughts on him? Think he's a decent defender?
Yep, Mr. Consistent.
I think he's he's our best pure defender.
John, yeah, probably agree. Yeah. John Stone's been fully fit, Martin.
I think he's the best centre back we have. My concern isn't his
right. So what you so are you comparing? So are you comparing Akanji to? Is the two new lads who are probably not going to get much game time? You wouldn't imagine.
I'll tell you why. Because it's Akanji's versatility, his experience, and his price at 14 million quid. You are not getting another centre back of that quality.
Well, I can.
Swiss captain, by the way. Swiss captain. 14 million quid. Come on, let's stop doing this.
Squish that. Well, I can squish that easy. I can squish that pretty easily. What you've just said about playing in different positions, right? John Stones has played centre half at CDM for us and right back.
Fitness is my issue.
One minute. That's not the argument at the minute, right? Just Guardiola played left back for us last season and probably the last 2 seasons. Yeah, Nathan Aki's played left back for us in the treble season. Yeah. Kusanov played right back for us last season. Yeah, last season for a bit, and I was centre half. So there's only really Victor East and Ruben Diaz who can only really play so far at centre back.
Well, Victor Hayes is supposed to be a DM.
Able
to do DM.
That was long-term plan while they signed him.
Yeah. I'm just moaning about the people who actually play different positions. So you've only really got 2 centre halves.
All right, bye, Ed.
Yeah, take care, mate.
Right, Darcy's got a question for you. I always hear that Stones is the best centre back for us. In what way? A main job of centre back is to defend. The guy can't even tackle anymore.
Oh, Kanji doesn't really do that either.
Rich is, I'm telling you, Rich is going to appear in a minute, Darcy.
It's like the bat signal. It's the Rich signal.
That's what I mean.
I believe in Rich Hendry.
Best signing under Pep. 14
hold on,
million.
though.
Wait,
no. It's not Pep's second best signing. Let's not do that.
Do you think Pep's going to sell Akanji? From what I'm hearing.
Hold on. How can he be a second best signing when we signed Bernardo Silva?
I think he's talking value from one end.
I would say Bernardo Silva's probably had more than value for money for what he's given.
That's different. No, you can't go.
One minute. Erling Haaland, 52 million. Hold on then. Erling Haaland, 52 million.
You said it was crap yesterday.
Behave, man.
We just signed him to a 10-year contract. He's not going anywhere.
Yesterday, I thought against Juve we were average.
Who?
City.
Fuck off!
I'm telling you. But Elliot, will we shit?
No, I do get where he's coming from. To be fair, though.
No, you're not.
They also didn't start their best.
Right, anyway, we'll end it there because I'm not doing this. I know. I'm just figuring out.
No. So before you go,
he's been off camera. He's WhatsApped you, and he's just appeared back on camera. You think I'm stupid? I know exactly what you've done.
Yeah.
No, so Martin, on this Akanji thing, then, yeah. So
no, not doing it.
Well, 1 minute. No, 1 minute. 1 minute. I'm asking a question. Right. A fully fit team, does he start? His first league game. His first league game.
No.
Right, 1 minute. 1 minute. Let me come again, right? So who is your starting centre halves at the back?
Diaz and Gavardio.
Right. One of them go down. Who are you putting on? Stones, Ake, Akanji, Kusanov, and Victor are all on the bench. They're not, but I'm just using it as an example. So that's what. No. So what about the other two who I mentioned?
Well, again, depending what side. I don't know where we're going with this.
What do you mean? What do you mean, depending what side?
No, hang on a minute. I'm not getting this because
hold on.
No. That's made a great point earlier.
You're changing it now. You're changing it now.
No, I can mute you. Let me make my point. You're winding me up, and it's working. And I know what you've all done.
I'm not doing anything.
I'm going to make this point because I've fallen for it. I've gone down the hole, so I might as well dig. Kusanov and Victor Hayes have not played enough football for this football club for anyone to start putting any other of our defenders above them. And
never said them.
You're disrespecting Akanji, John Stones.
Never said them.
These two kids are young kids. Going to be amazing.
I never said them.
They have done jack shit for Manchester City to start putting them above anybody.
I never said them. I never said them. I never said them.
That one is
so take them two
in a row. Let's not do this, please.
So take them off of the bench then. So take them off the bench. Take them off the bench then, yeah. So you've got Ake and Stone on the bench then. and a Kanja.
Right.
Which ones are you putting on? If Joshua Guardiola goes down,
Okay.
see what I mean. I've caught you, man. Yes, I have. Obviously, I have. Obviously, I have.
All right, then. On yesterday's performance, are you playing Doku in the next game and benching Foden?
Yeah. If this was a league game, 100%. And if you've noticed, the players now, and I wasn't going to say this to be fair, I'm probably going to say it for a space or whatever you want to do. But if you notice now, the players are starting to come out and they're shitting themselves because what they're saying is, it's good competition. It's good competition. It's this, it's that, right? If you look back to the Arsenal game before the game Rodri did his ACL, you look at our bench the game before and look at the depth we had on the bench. Fucking hell, man, we was all right. It was down to injuries why we did what we did last season for me.
Yeah, I agree. And I said that when everyone was having crisis videos and everything else. Did you not notice we did no crisis videos on this channel? You noticed that?
Now you just did a space instead.
You look like a meme now. What's going on here? You look like a frigging meme, the pair of you.
You just did Twitter space instead, Martin. Melting down.
You face that way. 1 minute, Elliot. You face the other way.
No, not do the Eiffel Tower.
So I mean, you're staring at each other, eh? Listen, people in the chat.
You're not answering the question.
No, because you're on a wind up. We're not doing
I'm not on a wind up. I'm not on a wind up. I've asked you a genuine question and you can't answer it.
Super
you know
chat,
you can't.
£6, thank you. Just checking Mateus Nunes stats. Quite a creative player. 4 goals, 11 assists in all comps. Quite quick too. Spot on. There's no argument. MCFC. I know these people personally. They are winding me up. I am not falling for it.
I'm not winding you up. I'm being actually genuinely serious.
Who's Dynasty Nunes versus Rafinha in the Champions League? Or versus Vinny? Or versus Dembele? Who's dying to see that?
Kelstar, anyone in a blue shirt, I back. Maybe some fans need to start doing that more. Back all our players.
It's a shame you didn't back the assistant manager last season,
Martin. If
Martin.
you're in a blue shirt, back up.
It's a shame you didn't back the assistant manager last season, Martin.
Never did you. No one did.
I think I'll find I did. Find me where I slagged the assistant manager off last season.
He was too busy placing cones on the arse and not.
No. That bloke won us plenty of league titles, mate.
Oh, piss off.
What?
Pep's had more assistants than Alan's had crumpets.
Yeah, they've done all right for him, haven't they?
They have. They certainly have.
They have certainly done all right, the crumpets.
And that's an old joke from Man TV days. Some will not understand that joke either. Do you know, some people they don't understand humour, do they? Danielle, you don't spend 40 million at centre back being up. Yes, they are part of the future. I've not denied that. My point is, Danielle, anyone who says Victor Hayes and Kushinov are better than Akanji, Ake, Stones.
They've got a nice ceiling than him, Martin. They've got a nice ceiling than him, though, Martin. Martin, they've got a nice ceiling than him. Do you not agree, Martin?
What?
They've got a nice ceiling than Akanji.
I don't know because I've not seen it.
Well, how old are they? You
got Kelstar. One game. You give me one game.
No, but how old are they? No, but how old are they?
What are we doing here? This is
so
the crazy.
Is 19, yeah?
Swiss captain. Captain.
I know, I'm Swiss.
And you're backing a guy who's played one game ahead of someone who's had fucking how much? Oh my God.
Victor is 19, yeah?
This is crazy.
Victor is 19, yeah? Is he 19? Pat, is he 19, Victor?
He's 20, I think.
Yes, he's 19.
Yeah. And Kusanov is what, 21? 22?
21, something like that.
Right. Hold on. Right. Look, go back and look at Akanji, where he was at 21.
I'm not doing this.
To look where they are.
Well, remember, 20-year-old Kusanov pocketed Vinny at the Bernabeu. I didn't see. Can't you do that?
You've got it.
Man.
We'll be back shortly. We're just experiencing some technical difficulties. This Martin Meltdown is brought to you by Taco Bell.
Get us on the space later on. We'll just carry on this conversation.
Elliot,
this Martin Meltdown is brought to you by Chipotle.
1 minute. What have you just said? You want to back that greatest player of all time, yeah?
Exactly. You back Echeverri more than you back David Silva and KDB.
Don't be daft.
Exactly. I'm talking 30 million minimum for Akanji. I'm with you.
You know, chance of getting 30 million, man.
100%.
You can make a profit on him though. I think you could get 20. Football's a business.
You mad, Martin, man.
I tell you, you lot have got about as much loyalty as like Alan does.
I don't rate him. That's my opinion. I don't rate him.
What do you mean?
I knew that'd wake him up.
Al, do you know if Martin did a space like after this year?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and he said he discussed this.
Let's not do this.
He discussed
I tell you, and it's factual. This we've made more bozo moments than Akanji last season with Josh Gogabardio. But because Josh Gogabardio is a very good player, no one mentions it. Edison made more bozo moments. We need to stop this player agenda shit that is going on and making stuff up.
Yeah, so Al, back to my point. Yeah, if Martin discussed this on the space later on, yeah, Al, are you still there, Al? Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Yeah. And he brought this conversation up later on.
No,
he brought this he started this space later on, and they were discussing this. How many people do you think could actually agree with Martin?
None.
Right, 1 minute. So on this panel,
Elliot, would you sell silver?
If you've got 1 minute. Let me on this point first,
right? We can all throw hard questions around here.
So Pat, Kelsey, and Dalia. So if I'll ask the same questions, but I've just asked Martin, which he deflected and didn't answer because he knows the answer really. If Gosco Guardiola got injured the first game and we had Stones and Ake on the bench and Akanji, which one are you leaving out last? So you have 3 choices. Which one are you going to? In order.
Wait, who we're playing?
Yeah, so says we're playing Wolves first game of the season. We've got Diaz and Guardiola at centre half. On the bench, we've got Akanji, Ake, and John Stones on the bench.
I would pick number 1 would be John Stones because I think this John Stones Diaz partnership works very well. Number 2 would be Ake because I like the right foot, left foot. And I think Ake is a much better defender. I personally think Akanji and Diaz are just not a good pairing together. I think the buildup between the two of them is not very good. And we looked bad in a lot of games last season when it was just the two of them passing to each other. So out of those choices, I would prefer John Stones. This is assuming he's healthy because we have historical evidence about how good that partnership is. And I guess the buildup would be pretty bad with Ake and Diaz. But I just trust Ake defensively more than Akanji.
Can I have a straight? No. I'm gonna put something out to the pair here now because everyone's gone fucking fishing tonight, and you've got a big old.
No. I'm just waiting for Pat's answer.
No,
just let Pat answer first. Just let Pat answer first. Let Pat answer first. Come on, he's not said anything yet. Let him answer first. Pat, what would you do, man?
No, he's
picking Akanji.
It's the bouncing Beckenbauer. It's Johnny Stones. Johnny fucking Bowler.
Here comes Rich.
Martin, you're struggling here, mate. You're 4-1 down.
Let me do this, right? John Stones, I love him to bits. Absolute baller of a player. But when John Stones was injured, he went for a fucking walk. You know what Akanji did when he's injured? Stood on the fucking pitch and give it his all. 60% of the whole season. And what did Pep say? I thank the Warriors that were on the pitch in that hour.
And then moaned.
And one of them was Akanji. Thank you very much. Good night.
And then he moaned.
We should not be normalizing playing injured, though.
And then he moaned about being at Club World Cup and that.
Because I'll tell you, did decline to play injured. But I won't give you the name because you won't like it because it'll ruin his legacy. And
Yoshko? Was it Yoshko? Because I'm the Glazer, remember?
Who?
Let's not do this. Elliot. Because I'll destroy.
Is he an actual player or is he a goalkeeper?
He's an actual player.
John Stones declined to play injured. Surprise to no one.
This Akanji.
The entire chat says Akanji, by the way.
I've asked you a question, man. I've asked you a question.
Dash got it.
Nah, that's a load of bullshit, man.
Elliot, bullshit.
That's a load of bullshit.
I will pull up the message you sent me. Do not.
Well, hold on.
Elliot.
Hold on. Craig Party Time said he was fit.
But he wasn't fit, and you know he wasn't.
Oh, I'm just going off of what I hear on here.
So you know he wasn't fit.
Was that when he had the foot issue?
No. The point is I'm trying to make is Why don't? What is wrong with just backing all our players?
But KDB, yeah, but hold on. I'm not going to let this slander on
listen,
KDB.
no, Elliot, I'm going to explain this because you don't like this about me. Elliot thinks that I live in fairyland and I live in this world where everyone's smiling and singing "Kumbaya" in a nice circle.
You do.
I probably do. Yeah, I do, Alan, because of my Manchester
Fairy
City
Liquid, is
fan.
that a new sponsor?
Right, we talked about this earlier.
Oh, okay.
Social media has turned a lot of fans into player FCs. You're there for Manchester City, not because there's a player there. Doesn't matter whether Dick Van Dijk, Billy down the road, or it was Erling Haaland who's wearing a City shirt on a football pitch. They get the backing off me. I pay my money to.
So my question is still, Martin. So, Martin, the question is then,
or a chairman or anything. I'm there for the badge. Now else.
So the question is then, Martin, do you like a Kanji then?
I like all City players.
Right. So you pick him. So you pick him then. So you pick him over John Stones and Nathan Ake then, won't you?
No, because I don't pick him doesn't mean I don't like him either.
No. But we're not on about like him. We're not about playing for our football club.
Elliot, I want the best squad we can have.
Do you think Akanji's in our best squad?
Yeah.
No, he's not. You just picked the team. You didn't put him in the team.
Akanji at right back or Rico Lewis at right back.
Rico Lewis.
Say Rico Lewis either of you are lying, and you know you are both lying at that point. Do not lie.
Rico Lewis because he's from Bury.
Listen.
Rico Lewis because he's from Bury, innit, Al?
You know his dad, or he drinks with you in the white and out. I do not care.
Rico.
I don't care if he's a next door neighbour. As much as we're doing this, we've got to stop glazing if they have got to be good enough.
To be fair, I would agree with you. I would play Akanji at right back over Rico or Nunes.
Well, there you go then. Thank you. But not one person here has gone, sell him. Still,
I would sell all three of them, honestly. I would sell all three and buy Livramento, but that's difficult.
I can do that for you. Can you want me to get the PS5 controller? I'll just nip get my PS5 controller. I can have it done in 5 minutes. You'll have all that done for you.
I don't play video games.
Shouldn't hate any players, Benny. No, I disagree with that. Don't hate. Nah. Shouldn't hate.
Well,
hate the strong word. You
them.
hate someone means you should. Nah, don't agree with that. Don't hate any player. Too strong.
Al thoughts on Nunes' performance yesterday.
He was all right.
Good performance.
No, I don't. MCFC.
He got skinned at the end, though. That was not a good defense.
We have no interruptions. Did ask you a question? He played all right, to be fair.
Oh,
all right.
Well said, Kath. There.
Oh, Kath, don't you come in with your common sense agenda?
At the end of the day, we have no say. Suck it up and support. End of. Well done, Kath. There.
We need to hear Alan one more time.
Go to Chelsea. Go to Chelsea, you.
You're in the mud, you man.
No.
You are. Proper caught you, man.
You were saying Haaland was shit yesterday.
When did I say that? When did I say that?
You were on the watch along saying it. I've got 5.
So go on then, get it up then. Get it up then.
I'm gonna clip it. I'm gonna get it and clip
it. All right, clip it. Clip it then. Clip it.
Right,
I said he really missed his goal. What was that?
I've got to go and start my work. I'll ring you after this because you're a bastard. Because you know what he did, ladies and gentlemen? We did this on the phone one. And he rang me up afterwards and he went, fucking did you, didn't I? I went, yeah, you did, you bastard.
I'm not doing anything, me, man. Speak chalk space in 10 minutes, then, yeah?
No, there's no space.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
You start a space. I never see you start a space.
Hamza's doing one.
Is he?
Why don't you start a space? Come on, Alan. I'll start a space. You make me co-host and we'll do it. Come on.
Well, 1 second.
What's that? Peanut shriveling into balls. Balls into peanut, I mean. And we'll call it the Humongous. I'm with you. Akanji fan club. Go in. We'll put all these other people off. Come on. Get it on.
I'll set a space.
Don't acronym it because then it's AFC. We don't want that.
Yeah, true. Now, Joey Barton. Now, I'll tell you what. The only thing I want from the other night is I want someone to go through Cancelo at the back. See.
Jesus.
Wow, Martin promoting violence. Okay.
Yeah.
I wish someone would go through.
Cancelo promoting violence on the training ground, didn't to a poor young lad.
Martin going full Cersei Lannister on this. I choose violence.
Violence. I'm going. I'll speak to you later, everybody.
Are you doing a space, Alan?
Yeah, I'm going to do a space. Give me, what time is it now? It's 10:03 here. We'll make it in half an hour. So go to the post office. Yeah?
I'll bet you a tenner right now. You do not start a space and send me an invite.
What shall I do now?
No, Benny, no, Benny, no, Benny, no, Benny, please, no, please delete that. Don't ban him, but just delete the comment. We're not opening that can of worms.
I would ban this comment about ACLs too. That's really bad karma.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm only joking, but why are you bringing that up, Pat? Right, we're ending this. It's going wild here. We've got Adam Johnson, they're all coming up. BBCs. Right, let's go. Thank you all. We'll be back soon.
The show is brought to you by UKIP.
Al.
Sponsored by OnlyFans.
Alan.
Whoa. Listen, Kelsey, you can promote your stuff.
Whoa.
I've just sent you an interview, pal.
Kelsey pays everyone $10 to subscribe.
Send me a message.
I've just sent you a message, pal, about.
Whoa.
I've just sent you a link, pal.
What's that?
Yeah. I've just sent you a link.
No. Stop. The algorithm's picking all these words up. I'm in the mud. We're in the mud here, Pat. We're in the mud.
Yeah, I've just sent you a link.
We're in the mud with your agenda, which was just as the wind blows.
I've just sent you a link on WhatsApp interview from today from Tommy Robinson.
Right. Anyway,
I like Nigel Farage, but I don't like Tommy.
I want to thank everyone who has joined us today on the show. I apologise. This will be the last ever Mancunian Way show. We will get banned in the morning. I promise you.
There will be, stay around for 5 minutes because there will be a montage.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Sir Donald? Thoughts on Sir Donald?
Anyway, right. Them two are gone now. We're not doing that.
He's not a sir. We'll
see you all soon. Take care. Hit the likes on the way out. It is only banned, so we have another laugh. But people do. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Elliot.
All right.
Send it over now, lad. Up the Donald.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Kelsey. Take care, and we'll see you.
Donald Trump.
If we're allowed back.
It was nice to know you guys, because I'll never be invited on again.